you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbooks made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
And sponsored by smashingpennies.net. Get 10% off your order with code Geocache Talk Network. They are perfect to put in a geocache.
This is where we're supposed to say stuff.
Oh, hey, everybody. It is time for Puzzle Talk, the geocaching puzzle podcast, brought to you by Tom and myself via the Geocache Talk Network. And we are your hosts for tonight. So good evening, Tom.
Howdy. This is going to be fun. We are literally without adult supervision. This is going to...
That's kind of the way it's going. So we're going to try to stay, in the straight and narrow, but we're liable to run off into the weeds every now and again. So that's all right. Here,
You're saying the alignment on the Jeep might be off a little bit?
It could be. It could be.
Steering is adjusted.
There's probably a loose nut between the steering wheel and the seat. That's probably so. Here, let's get to some news real quick. All right, the Geocache Talk Network is happy to be one of the amazing sponsors for Cache Fest in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It says here that this can't be right. It says Puzzle Academy is going to return. Are we doing that again?
I think so.
Okay.
We're supposed to do it was requested that we do puzzles about cowboys and Indians.
But not the football team Cowboys and
oh gosh, no.
Not those Indians, no? Okay.
No.
Although we could,
Well, maybe those Indians, but not those Cowboys.
We'd have to make it like the Oklahoma State University Cowboys who
don't suck near as much as the ones from Dallas.
That is a true statement. So let's see.
All right, the one bad Oklahoma joke tonight. We appreciate that Oklahoma sucks because it keeps Texas from falling into the ocean.
That's right. And the Oklahoma State Cowboys this year did beat the cheating Oklahoma Sooners. So, those Cowboys got that going for them. But Puzzle Academy is going to return, and that is going to be at the Cache Fest Oklahoma mega event. This is the first mega event in Oklahoma, and so if you're in the neighborhood, we'd love for you to attend, and we'd love for you to log a will attend if that is possible. The GC code for the mega event is GCAB90Z as in Zulu. And we will drop that into the chat for all of our viewers. And so if you have not logged a will attend, we would love for you to log a will attend for that event. Also, Podcast of Hope is coming up right around the corner. It is going to be Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, from 4 p.m. to midnight. That is Central Time Zone times. And so it says, help us fly by a total of over $50,000 given over the years. We are one of, if not the largest how did they put it when we were talking about it? Non-sponsored organizations.
Something like that. Yeah.
A non-for-profit organization, something like that, that donates to Podcast of Hope, or through Podcast of Hope, we donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So it's an amazing cause. And so if you're around on Saturday, December 2nd, and have nothing to do from 4 p.m. to midnight Central Time, then tune in and join us for the Podcast of Hope.
I'm glad you said that out loud, because I was just writing myself an email to remember to take off Monday, because it's always been on a Sunday. I was going to take off the next day so I could sleep, because
and this year it's going to be on a Saturday, so you don't have to take Sunday off unless you work Sunday.
No.
Yeah. So there is all of that. So tonight's show is going to be about road trip puzzles, and a couple of things. I've got one that I'm going to throw in here to the mix at the end that I've found on a recent road trip. But Tom, what do you do? Obviously, you probably don't, but do you shy away from puzzle caches while you're on a road trip?
Absolutely not. No. Every one of these we're going to look at tonight, except for one, was solved on the fly.
And the one that I'm going to bring up at the end is also one that I solved on the fly, and whatnot. So the question now becomes, you're not on a road trip. You're not always plugged in. You don't always have your computer. You don't always have a keyboard at your disposal. You're not always have all of those resources. How do you manage solving sometimes difficult puzzles while you're on the road? Do you have a setup? And if you do, what is that setup for you to puzzle cache while you're out on the road?
That setup would be my phone.
iPhone too.
So it's got internet. It can be a hotspot. Gets me to my friend Google real quick.
And so in that, do you take your laptop with you when you go on road trips like this? That probably sometimes depends on
Well, I had to think, because in the years ago, yes, it was always take my laptop because it didn't have the iPhone or whatever, and sometimes the internet was drive up to a Starbucks or to a hotel and
to McDonald's
use
with
their
the free
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Yep, absolutely. I have done that a number of times.
And I used to log them all on that computer. I don't do that anymore. But now it's just basically when we're going along, I'm looking for places we're going to stop. We're going to stop for gas. We're going to stop at a rest stop so I can get out and walk. We're stopping for lunch. And then when we stop, I automatically bring up Cashly and what's in the area, what's right there.
Yeah.
And if there's a traditional in the parking lot, I'm after it. But I'm also looking to see what puzzles nearby, because if it's something I can solve quick, then I'm after it.
And the one thing that I love about Cashly, that I'm maybe some other apps do this as well, but when you pull up a cache page and you pull up the description, up at the top, it gives you the option to view it as a website, as what you would see on the website. And then it also gives you the source code. So there's a button up there for source code, and you can quickly tab to that And as long as you're used to reading the HTML, you can quickly kind of scroll through there and be like, oh, hey, there's hidden text right here. Or, something like that. He's got something hidden down in the source code, and you can view that quickly and easily through the Cachly app. I'm not sure if there are other apps for Android that may do the same thing, but the Cachly app allows you to do that. So
I know it seems like it was the first one that did it. And yeah, that was nice. I'm gonna be looking at these to see if there's any of them that have the. Yep, that one doesn't. And let's see. But yeah, most of these we're just stopping for a few minutes. So all of these were on our trip, a 2-week trip from basically my house to
Florida.
Corn Fest in Florida, then up to Virginia, back to Rome, Georgia, and that's where my set of stuff here stops because I don't think we had another. Well, we might have had an Adventure Lab bonus, but we didn't have any other real puzzles after that. And we did some challenge caches that show up as puzzles, but they're those aren't real puzzles. They're fun, but they're not puzzles.
Yeah. And the one that I have picked out that I'm going to put is actually in Auburn, Alabama, that I got on my way to CoinFest. We were actually driving and quickly saw this puzzle. And though it does have a difficulty of a 4.5, it was I recognized a key word on there that helped me solve it really, really fast. And so therefore got to punch in some corrected coordinates for it. And it was there on Auburn University that I got after we got the webcam there in Auburn. So we'll get to that here in a bit.
So was it a 4 because at one time it really was hard, or is it 4 because of terrain and that kind of stuff, or difficulty in finding the cache? Or you've slept since then?
No, it was because it's a Vigenère cipher. And you have to have the keyword. But if you know where to go, there are a lot of places that will
they'll brute force them.
Can brute force them. But there are a couple of things on the cache page that we'll look at that you'll be able to sit there and be like, oh, that's why it's like that. So without further ado, I guess let's jump into this first one. And let me put up, share a screen, this Louisiana Star. So
this is the only one I had solved before we left the house, and we had just stopped to get some lunch in this little place in Louisiana, and it was like 100 feet from the front of the store we were at. So it's like, yep, we're gonna go get this. So what was this thing is? Louisiana Star was 50 starter caches of 46 puzzles, 2 letter boxes, a short multi, and a traditional, and then a bonus. And let's see, what was... Oh, Foxtrot, go. Oh, let's see. Do I have up there? Yeah. So the puzzle part, you can see in the middle there, right there, the North 14 ABC DEF. So ABC is Foxtrot, Golf Charlie, Delta Echo Alpha. So
Yeah, so Foxtrot is the 6th letter in the phonetic alphabet.
Yep.
G is the 7th, and then Charlie would be the 3rd. So 673.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Hey, simple enough.
So that's one. Even if I didn't have solved already, I would have had that in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and this is down low, kind of evil, but not bad. And let's see. Let's look at this. All right, so a difficulty of 2.5. But it's been found 264 times, and whatnot. So hey, and it's a micro, so it's probably some magnetic container, or bison tube. It says down low, so kind of evil.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be that evil, but this thing is how many years old? Almost 10, 9 years old.
Yeah.
So
outside of Lafayette.
Yeah, we had to go get some boudin and some pig skins and that kind of stuff that's not good for you to eat, but boy, it is good to eat.
Oh, absolutely.
Road trip calories and fat don't count.
That's not on they don't count on vacation. Especially when you get to like stop at Buc-ee's.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So that was the only one that you had pre-solved.
That's the only pre-solved.
But in this could have been a fairly easy solve, even on the road. Obviously, just looking at it, we were like, oh, hey, this. So could have been a very easy solve while you were on the road. So
they weren't all that easy, but that one was certainly easy.
Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Hello, Houston, Texas, Dave. And I see Buzz82 chimed in here earlier. Howdy. Good to see y'all. Dave, I know you're upset about the Astros not making it to the World Series, but the Rangers did win it. So congratulations to them. Another Texas team winning the World Series. So there we go. All right, let's jump on to this next one. This one is called Middle Palisade Revisited. I'm assuming that at some point in time, we'll look at this. So Middle Palisade Revisited, this is GC A5N90. We'll throw that in the chat room for everybody who's tuning in so you can follow along. But this is Middle Palisade Revisited. It is a 2.5 for difficulty and a 1.5 for terrain. It is a small container. This one said this is easy. This says this cache is at the posted coordinates, but in order to figure out the combo for the lock, you will need the 3 numbers from the geocache that is Middle Palisade. Find that cache and you'll find the numbers you seek. So it's still the hint says it's still an active cache. So here you have the Middle Palisade Revisited, but you have to go and find the GC code for a cache called Middle Palisade. So that's not a hard thing to do if you know where to look. So let's see, this cache is in Alabama, but if you read the description, it says that from Middle Palisade, the cache is located on the summit of Middle Palisade in the Sierra Nevadas. Well, I know that the Sierra Nevadas are not in Alabama. The Sierra Nevadas are in California. The peak has an elevation of 14,040 feet and was first climbed by Francis Farquhar and Ansel Hall in August of 1921. So now you have to go and find this Middle Palisade cache. Middle Palisade cache is going to be somewhere in the Sierra Nevadas in California. So that's, going to be, that border of California and Nevada, right there along the Lake Tahoe area, up and down the state there. So that's going to be that string of mountain ranges. So you have to go and find that one. So easy enough. You know where this one is because it's at the posted coordinates. And then it probably shouldn't be too hard of searching to find where Middle Palisade geocache in the Sierra Nevadas is.
Filters on GC or any apps is the way to go.
Yeah, and you could probably put in Middle Palisade geocache California into a Google search, and I bet you it would pop it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, probably.
So that's actually not a bad way to create a simple puzzle cache. You just use somebody else's created cache as the code for the lock, and just put you a locking cache right wherever you want to.
I think this is one of those. Now I want to say it, I can't say it. The soda bottle preforms. It was a preform with one of those locks on it.
Oh yeah, one of the repurposed wine or liquor bottle locks for the top. Yeah, and I have a couple of those locks for a puzzle cache. So that would work. So.
And I got to think that this was a stop in Alabama.
The next one.
This is after. Yep, this was a lunch stop. This was actually, we got on the waiting list to get in, and me and Dave went and found this thing because we had plenty of time to wait and go find this thing.
Okay, so the next cache that we're going to look at, here's one that you found in North Carolina. It is a regular size cache. It is a difficulty 2 terrain 1. The GC code for our audio listeners is GCHQDA. That's a short GC code. We'll throw it into the chat room for our live viewers to follow along with. But
I hope all our viewers are live.
That makes. Yeah, it's past Halloween. If they're not, we've already put them back where they need to go. We borrowed them for Halloween, and now it's time to put them up because it's the turkeys month this month. But this one's from 2004. So that's a short GC code for those keeping track of them. You had to help me with this one because this is not normally what I would have thought that it was, which is kind of interesting talking about it before the show. But you can see that it is not available 24 hours a day, and that it should take you less than 1 hour, and that it is available in the winter months. That's key in certain portions of North Carolina. But it gives you a Monday through Saturday from 9 to 6. It's closed on Sundays. It is comfortable, high, and dry. And so in this, it says the cords put you in the parking area for this cache. Think about the name and the description and look carefully. This area is fragile in its own way, so please don't move things around. Just look and watch just look and watch the little ones if you have them along. Please put small objects only in this cache and don't stuff large ones. Cache is well camouflaged. And then it says whole families hide in these trees. And so I kind of thought after after we went round and round in circles about this one, and you kind of sat there and let me look like that deer in the proverbial headlights. It actually is kind of ingenious, and I like the way that the hint is laid out for this one. It works really well.
This one, well, you can do a Google drive-by, but I'll save you the time. It puts you in a parking lot of a library.
Of a library.
And we'll just leave it at that. You can figure it out from there. And it was a really cool library.
But for this, there's no puzzle to solve on the cache page.
No, you have the puzzle. The puzzle is to figure out where that thing is hidden with the clues they gave you there. And that's all you got going for you.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that. But if you are in
North Carolina,
North Carolina.
Oh no, that's Washington Street. Yeah. Well, yeah, Washington, North Carolina.
Yeah,
Beaufort County. So a little small town, nice little town. I'd go back.
So if you're in the Washington, North Carolina area, this is on Tom's picks of caches to go grab. And whatnot. Very cool. And if you need a phone a friend, I'll leave his phone number in the show notes so you can stop by and grab it from there. Because I'm cool like that. Because I'm trying to help people out here. So when they go to a cache and see where Tom Brotherman was the first to find on it, they know, phone a friend in the bag on this one.
Oh, man.
All right. So we wanted to mention this one, not for any other particular reason. It is not a difficult puzzle, but it is a puzzle cache. And for our audio listeners, this is GC 936 Zulu 9. And there it is in the chat room for our friends to follow along with. But I know a lot of people shy away from puzzle caches while they're on road trips, but this right here is an Adventure Lab bonus cache. And Adventure Lab bonus caches are absolutely puzzle caches. And so if you can easily stop and get a 5-stage or 10-stage, depending on the Adventure Lab, but if you can easily get you, a 5-stage Adventure Lab while you're on a road trip, hey, bonus caches, those count too. That's like a sixth free smiley. And so if you, we understand that not everybody does Adventure Lab caches, and that's okay. We can't all be perfect. But for those of us who do them, bonus caches are basically a 6th free smiley on the map. And I highly encourage you to stop if you're in the Gila Bend, Arizona area on your way to or from Yuma, Arizona. They're in Gila Bend, there is a Adventure Lab with a bonus cache there that I recently did owner maintenance on. So, take that as you will. But hey, bonus caches for Adventure Labs count, right, Tom?
Yes, they do.
So normally requires you. Oh, look, and y'all were the last people to find it. Nobody has found this in over a month. Well, it's
A little bitty town in North Carolina.
yeah, it is. So
I mean,
only
that's so
64.
small. It doesn't even have a name on the town on there.
Yeah, it just says Water Street. Water Street in North Carolina. It
Well,
doesn't even give me a town.
Well, hold on. That's interesting.
You have to scroll down and see that it's in Columbia. Well, that's because the coordinates for it put it out in the middle of the river.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, the internet, yours says Water Street. That's not what mine says.
Oh, well, that's because I'm running a Project GC extension. I run the Cache Tour Assistant, and I run a Project GC extension for Chrome. And so it gives me some extra metadata that normally is not on a cache page unless you're running the Chrome extension. You can see that I'm not logged in. So if I was logged in, it would it populates some other data on the screen as well.
Okay.
So there are a couple of things that does, and I'll show you that maybe on the next cache page if it shows up there. But bonus caches, easy road trip mystery / puzzle cache that you can grab while you're out bouncing around geocaching.
And look at it. It was 64 finds and 22 favorites. So,
but hey, so
that's a pretty good ratio there.
And I have found that a lot of people will give the bonus cache, even if the bonus cache is like a lackluster bison tube inside a signpost, then it is it gets a bonus, it gets a favorite point because of either how easy the Adventure Lab was, or the cool things that the Adventure Lab took you to. Mine has way too many favorite points for what the actual bonus cache is, but a lot of people will say that they give it a bonus cache for the Adventure Lab. So because it's an easy way to let you know that they liked it and whatnot. So all right, so the next one is called QR code number 1. Obviously, you're going to have a smartphone for this geocache. It is GC1XJ1W. We'll put that in the chat room for our live viewing audience. And then share the screen. So this one you have to have I kind of like it. As you scroll down here, it gives you a giant QR code right in the smack dab middle of the page. And it tells you that the cache is not at the posted coordinates. And so it tells you that you have to decode this. And if you pull out your smartphone and actually scan this, right? So scan that. And then it brings up this stuff in your search bar. And you probably can't see that, but it gives you north and in the parentheses 9 times 4 degrees. And then gives you some more parentheses that are, that is Spanish, cincuento y cinco. And my Spanish is horrible, so please don't. Look, if it's not a margarita or a taco, a quesadilla maybe. But I mispronounce tortilla all the time, so don't hate on my Spanish speaking abilities because it's non-existent. For as close as I...
All you need to know is Mas Cerveza por favor and
Donde estás el baño?
Donde está el banjo?
That's right. So it's kind of neat.
Well, sometimes there's a dialect, so sometimes you got to go with Donde está casa de Pepe?
Yes. So it's kind of neat because this one gives it to you up here in your Google search bar on the deal when you scan the QR code. So it's kind of neat. It gives you some math to solve, like the square root of 361 and some other stuff. But that is a kind of easy, simple, fun way to hide a puzzle cache. And actually, if all you had was your smartphone, I have a QR code reader that I can take a screenshot of the QR code and then scan it with my QR code reader app, and it will pop up the same stuff as then if I scanned it live and looked at it. So this is kind of a neat way to hide one, and it gives you a difficulty of 4. So it's kind of a high difficulty.
Not for when it was put out.
Oh, that's true. 2009. You got a good point. There probably weren't the most readily available QR code scanning apps on most smartphones.
Well, do you remember the first one of these you saw? Because I do. I remember the name of the cache. It was called Act Fast. Because QR,
quick reaction.
Quick spot. I thought it was quick response, but anyway.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen one of these, so I'm like, what the crap is this? You know?
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a barcode cache, and I was like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, but
I know what it is.
At least a barcode, you knew what it was. This, I was like,
yeah.
Okay, what do you do with this?
Yeah, no, I like QR codes because I hid one during our last little puzzle escapade that we did. So, yeah, need a smartphone for this one, but easily doable. So let's look at this. Mostly, the only mystery caches I get while on vacation trips are challenge caches. Not a big Adventure Lab, so Adventure Lab bonuses are usually not done by me. So, hey, we would get into that, except we have another show on the podcast that deals with challenge caches. And so we kind of have agreed to not steal Emily's thunder, even though those totally fall under the puzzle cache genre, being a question mark blue icon on the map. We have on purpose left those alone for Emily and her show. And so if you like challenge caches and whatnot, Emily hosts a bang up show over at Challenge Talk. So go check that out if that is your deal. I'm with you, Jim. I was going through all of my recent puzzle cache finds, and a plethora of them were challenge caches. So I'm there with you. All right. So this next one we're going to look at is called Pigskin Pros. It's GCACNBM. Actually, kind of there it is for our users in the chat room. I like this one because it's called Pigskin Pros, and it's in Georgia. But you have to solve these kind of riddles for this, and for football team mascots, I guess mascot probably would, for what's on the side of their helmet, their team names, team whatnot. So
this one was fun.
So like if like this one for paper money. Paper money is the Bills,
Mm-hmm.
the Buffalo Bills, and whatnot. Laura Croft, for example, is a Tomb Raider. So those would be the Las Vegas Raiders now. Suitcase stuffers, those are the Packers. And I hope they lose this weekend regardless of who they're playing. Go Bears. Proud Americans would be the Patriots, right? So this is a really good puzzle. And then so you get, it wants the first letter, the fifth letter, on and on. Those letters then convert to numbers. And then you have to do some math down here to get to RSTU and WXYZ. And then once you do some simple subtraction math, you end up with coordinates. I find it funny that there are more dope homers than there are woohoo homers on this one, given that, like this one, it kind of will trick you up. The 6 Roman rulers.
Yeah, that wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah, when you were explaining that, and then the army insects. That one's another little tricky play on team mascots, or so kind of neat how they did this. But this one is easily doable if you're a football fan.
It's easily doable if you're not, because I'm not a big football fan. I knew some of these.
Yeah, but you live in Texas. Like, football is like a small religion in that state.
That's true.
I mean, you get it through osmosis. You know, areas of high concentration to areas of low concentration. You know, that's how you get it.
Walk down the hall on Monday morning. That's all you're going to hear.
Absolutely. So this one is in Georgia. And so if you are in Georgia along Highway 53 outside of Lumpkin, that'd be a good geocache to stop and solve and whatnot. So I've solved this one. This is one that's on the list that I have solved. And there we go. There is your army insects right there. So way to go, Gary. We'll see if somebody can pop up with the 6 Roman rulers by the end of the show. I have solved this one, and I solved this one just purely by accident because I turned and saw somebody else grab it, and I was like, "Oh, hey, there's a geocache over there in that post." And so this is GCABX72. This one is in Rome, Georgia, and was there at the grounds for, there we go, there it is. Those are the 6 VI, 6 Roman, 6, those are Roman numerals. So 6
Kings.
Kings. So very well done, Reese. So this one was, let me throw this in there. Patron saints, and I didn't even have corrected coordinates for this, but it's in Rome, Georgia, and I was standing there at the fairgrounds where the mega event headquarters was being held at the park, and saw somebody else walk over and remove a piece from a post and remove a matchstick container from the post, and I walked over there and grabbed it and signed it. And then I had to figure out what cache it belonged to. That way I could log it and get credit for it. That was the hardest part for me because a couple of people I was like, hey, so what's the GC code for that one? And they were like, I was like, oh, quit being secret squirrel about it. They're like, oh, well, if you found it, then you've solved it and you know which one it is. And I was like, But somebody else then clued me in to it and let me know which one it was. And so then I could track it down and log it online, as I did that day there in Rome, Georgia.
You did it like me, option 3.
That's right. So it gives you option 1, which was the hard option. It says, keep your eyes peeled during Go and Cache in 2023 and spot the coordinates. Maybe a patron saint will lend a hand. That if you were there at the event, then it was over by the patrons booth for Go and Caching. Option 2, which is much harder, is the coordinates for this geocache are written in the back of another Going Caching crew geocache log hidden in or near Rome, Georgia. Well, since I didn't find any other outline caches there that weekend that weren't like, if it wasn't a virtual or if it didn't have like 500 favorite points or it wasn't a mega event, then I had other stuff going on. So but yeah, I found it. I actually saw somebody pull it out of the hole and was like, hey there. Getting the GC code for it was something a little different. And I like how they like maximized all of the attributes for this page. They put as many in there as they thought they could get away with. So sometimes you just have to be in the right place at the right time for a geocache like this to snag it.
And since we're talking Going Caching here, and Brad and Jen are in there, I would like to know from them, because at CoinFest they went over how they solved the puzzle for the shirt puzzle for Going Caching. Oh my God, that was involved. And then you and I sat through the presentation of the other people, and my goodness, I want to know, did y'all get the final? Were you all right, or did you have to do a little more work from?
Yeah, the pre-event puzzle shirt, where it came with its own little puzzle that you had to play and make steps. And the guy from Europe who explained how that thing went and how he built a program to run and that would make each player's turns go. That's. I mean, I'm decent at puzzles, but man, I was swimming looking for a life vest.
They got to log it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So, all right. We're going to look at the last one. No, that was the last one for Tom.
That was the last for me. So now we're on to you.
All right. So now we're on to me. So this one is called We Need More Puzzle Caches. Puzzle Caches.
Now I have a look at this. All right. So
this is GC44 EP6 for our audio listeners. And there's a link in the chat room for our so this one tells you that we need more puzzle in quotation marks and whatnot. So now I had to scroll down so I didn't share the final coordinates for it, because I do have solved coordinates in there. So we'll add it to that. So if you look at this one,
Okay.
these are all my challenge caches that I found. I had to scroll down to try and find this. I was looking to see if I could find Arizona, Tennessee. So it should be right in here somewhere. I was trying to look and see. Let's do this. Boop, I'll do that real quick. So this is a difficulty 4.5, and whatnot. So when you look at this, so this is one of the things I was telling you about, Tom. If you look at this, there's no, the hint comes decrypted, right? And so if you encrypt the hint for this, it looks, this is what you normally see. But because I run that script, that program in the background, it decodes the hint and it tells you that it's a Visionaire. And so if you highlight this and then copy the hint, right, and then place it into like decode.fr in their Visionaire solver, it will spit out the answer for you. The hide is straightforward once you have the final destination, and it was kind of neat. It was out near these baseball fields. They're right off the highway. Done. But let's see. Yeah, both of these baggies that were there were filled with water and whatnot. But we actually did get one out and get one dry enough to sign our names. But it was they were both pretty mushy and whatnot. But yeah, it was as long as you could take this and throw it into a Visionaire cipher solver, it'd give you corrected coordinates and put you there close to some deals. But that's one of the things that, if you know where some of these solvers are that are pretty mobile friendly, like the Decode FR website is pretty mobile friendly. And if you put in this, it will spit you out an answer pretty quick on the Visionaire brute force solver. And then it will tell you what the code was for you, what the password was that they used to encode it. This was one that once I realized what it was, I was like, oh, this will be pretty easy. And even though it's a 4.5 difficulty, I actually had the answers. I had an answer and corrected coordinates inputted into Cashly while Laura was driving. So it actually went pretty quick for us. So was there right outside of Auburn University. So
what is that
thing? He's looking.
I am solving. I've got the cipher part done. Now I'm working on the corrected coordinates.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you can't just drop something like that in front of me and not expect me to. No.
That is true. That is true. Like, that's like showing, a little kid where the milk and honey is, and then be like, but you can't have any. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But out of all of the puzzles that we showed tonight, most of these were super easily solved. I've got a road trip coming up. We're gonna go fly to Hawaii for Thanksgiving and get like a Spam plate lunch or something with some potato mac for Thanksgiving on the Big Island. But I've been doing that and solving puzzle caches along the way, and I've got most of the puzzle caches solved. But in looking at them, they were super easy, except for a couple of them were involved. But and then I've got a couple that I haven't solved yet. But they were things that if we were just driving around the island, at the 35 miles an hour or so that you drive on the island, easily would have been solved while we were headed around the island to get somewhere and whatnot. So
did I do that right?
Have you got it? Have you got it yet? We'll hang around and compare We'll hang around and compare coordinates at the end of this.
Is it in the woods north of a parking lot by a
About like 15 feet in the woods from a parking lot?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it was right on the back side of a really big tree with a bush at the bottom of it. So, yeah. Good
cool.
deal.
That was cool.
All right. So next month, December, we are going to be having a show. It is going to be on December 5th. That is one of my child's birthdays. Right? 9. Yeah. So we'll be back December 5th. How about we do, because it's December and that's Christmas, that means people are usually buying presents or, something of that nature. Let's do one based on money puzzles.
Okay.
So December's going to be money puzzles. If you have in your local area a money puzzle that you have not been able to solve, or maybe you own one, or you have solved one that you'd like to share with the geocaching community, shoot us a email. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, not that one. We want this one. Puzzle Talk Podcast, all one word, @gmail.com. Shoot us a GC code for anything that is money or currency related. We will cover currency and money caches next month at the on December 5th at the Christmas time.
Or just put it on the GC code on the back of a $20 bill and mail it to me.
That's right.
Get it from there.
We'll not only will we leave Tom's phone number in the show notes, but we'll give you his address as well. That way you can mail him the GC code on the back of a $20 bill. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's getting thick in here. It's time to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
what they keep telling me at work, but it's another 2 years and 3 months, maybe.
Yeah. That's as soon as I win the lottery, it's 2 bad days in a row. I just have to win the lottery, which means I have to start playing the lottery. Man, I got a long way to go. Yeah. Hey, so we want to thank everybody for hanging out till the end and whatnot. And then I want to ask the audience, think about this. You can send suggestions to the email address again, but I have a acorn cache. This is a real acorn. And if you open this,
Ooh, no, the one I found wasn't like that.
there is a magnetic nano inside it. There's your log sheet. There is a magnetic nano 2-part epoxy inside this real acorn. What kind of puzzle cache would you create for this? What would you call it? And where would you hide something like this? So if you've got suggestions or ideas, throw them to me my way via the Puzzle Talk Podcast at gmail.com. If I use your idea, I will give you credit on the cache page for a new hide here in Southwest Utah. All right, that's all the time we got for tonight.
I would say if you wanted to make a traditional out of that, I'd call it one nut looking for another.
Oh, let me see. There's something that we got to play here. There's a ending show credit things. Oh, there we go. All right, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Have a good night.